What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. On today's video, I have an in-depth comparison between the all-new Roto Grip Gem and one of the most fun bowling balls I've ever reviewed on this channel, the Storm Proton PhysiX. So if you guys like this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Then if you like this jersey or any of the jerseys in any of my videos, as always, you can go to coolwick.com and use my promo code Napoles10. That's Napoles10. And that'll get you 10% off your entire order. And then if you'd like to pre-order your Roto Grip Gem or order a Proton PhysiX or anything bowling related, there's gonna be a link down below in the description. That is the absolute best way to help support the channel, and I would super appreciate it. And then down below in the description, there's also gonna be a link to my Discord, which is completely free, and my Patreon, where you can pay for additional services outside of YouTube. Okay, so the Roto Grip Gem is the newest asymmetrical solid in the SPI family. It's made by Roto Grip. And the Proton PhysiX is probably the strongest ball in the SPI family, at least before we compare it to this gem. So let's get into some of the tech, and we'll start in the gem. The gem features the Defiant LRG core, which in 15 pounds has an RG of 2.47, a max differential of 0.53, and a PSA of 0.16. Now remember those numbers because it's very, very similar to the Proton PhysiX. And then wrapped around the Defiant LRG core is the MicroTrack solid reactive cover stock that comes out of box at a 2000 grip finish. Both these balls are finished with the same 2000. And then the layout on both of these is the same. It's 30 by 5 by 30. So let's get into the Proton PhysiX. The Proton features the Atomic core, which in 15 pounds has an RG of 2.48, which is only one tick higher than the gem, a max differential of 0.53, which is the same as the gem, and a PSA of 0.17, which is only one tick higher than the gem. So the cores in these balls are very, very similar. And then the cover stock on the Proton PhysiX is the NEX solid cover stock that also comes out of box at 2000. And like I said, they're both finished at 2000, and then they both have the same layout, being 30 by 5 by 30. So let me know down below in the comments what you're expecting to be the differences between the Proton PhysiX and the gem, again, with the same layout and with the same surface prep. All right, so I'm gonna take a guess at where I need to play. I imagine I'll have to play a little bit deeper because these balls are both really strong. Pretty good guess. All right, so that was a pretty good guess. Let's just repeat here. All right, so I spun the daylights out of that ball. So let's try not to do that again here. Good shot. Hit it. No. I'm moving a little bit. Keep it in the oil. See how this looks. Yeah, in the oil, this looks pretty good, actually. So the gem is definitely one of those balls that on a house shot, especially like here at Samstown, I'm gonna wanna keep it in the oil because there's so much friction to the right that when I get it into the oil, it wants to really just puke. And that's not because the gem is a bad ball or anything like that. That's because the cover is so strong. And then all of a sudden you keep it in the oil and it looks fantastic. So now we're gonna get into the Proton PhysiX, which you guys already know how good it rolls here in the center. And I'm gonna go to that same spot that I just left off at with the gem so that we can see what the differences are going to be. But like I said in the original review of the gem, I like the pin down one significantly more than I like the pin up one, at least on a house shot. So let's get back on the lanes. All right, first shot here with the Proton from where I was just at with the gem. Wow. All right, so that was very, very surprising. I'm gonna move like 3 or 4 right and see if that looks better. Oh, that's blowing my mind that the gem is that much stronger than this Proton. And a 7-pin. All right, well, I mean, here's to kicking out the 7-pin. Oh boy. I'm gonna move in and try to slow hook it a little bit here and see if it looks better. So 5 shots in with each, it's pretty mind-blowing just how much stronger this gem feels than the Proton. But that last shot with the Proton, I kind of moved in a little bit, kind of tried to slow hook it a little bit, and it looked pretty good. So maybe it's just my eyes playing tricks on me. But as we progress further in with both of these balls, I'll get more or a better understanding as to which one of these two is actually the stronger one. But let me know what you guys are thinking so far, because those first 10 shots were kind of, you know, I didn't really throw, like, my backswing started doing all this funky stuff. So really gonna focus on my approach these next couple shots and make sure that everything is solid so that we can get a fair comparison between the Proton PhysiX and the Gem. All right, so I'm gonna move further in now, back in the Gem. So I didn't hate that 4-pin, so I'll just move a little bit further left. Just be aggressive here. There we go. That last shot was probably my best shot in a couple months, physically. Okay guys, I think I figured it out. My timing was really good those last 2 shots. Oh, what, 3 in a row? All right, last shot here in the Gem before I get back into the Proton. Good shot. All right, so my timing was as good in those last 4 shots as maybe it's ever been. And I know you guys didn't come to this video to hear me talk about my game. You came here to watch the Proton versus the Gem. But what I figured out was, in that second step, just get the ball going down quick instead of going out and down. That was causing my timing. So if I start out here and go straight down, my timing felt really, really good. My swing was still high, sure, but I thought that was the issue, but it really wasn't. It was how long it was taking me to get into the swing. So if I can just keep repeating that, and then the Gem looked fantastic. Now we're gonna get back into the Proton, and I'm gonna go to that same spot I was just at with the Gem, make sure that my timing looks solid like it has the last couple shots, to see what the differences are gonna be. And if I have to move right, I will a little bit with the Proton, which is what I'm expecting. Because the way this Gem is reading the front part of the lane, it is strong. And if you don't believe me, just look at the ball going down the lane. All right, so this is the same spot with the Proton that I was just at with the Gem. Guys, I figured it out. The universe is unlocked. Hook. Oh, God. So I'm like 1 board right of where I was with the Gem. Guys, that 7-pin is disgusting. There's no other way to describe that. Oh. Because bowling, that's why. All right, we got a lot to unpack here, so let's throw a good shot here with the Proton before we get back into the Gem. All right, so this is pretty wild. Okay, before I got the Gem, when I only had the Proton, and I compared it to like the Reality, the Nova, I think that's it. I don't think I ever threw it next to the RSTX1. But the Proton was the earliest, roundest, smoothest bowling ball that I had by a pretty considerable margin. Now when I throw it next to this Gem, the Proton looks like a Reality all of a sudden. It looks like it's way cleaner through the front, shaping way more down lane than the Gem. And that's a pretty scary thought. The fact that the strength levels of some of these covers are getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And where are we gonna find that much oil to throw them on house shots? On the heavy volume patterns, this Gem is gonna be disgustingly good. And I'm thinking that both of these balls, the Proton and the Gem, are going to be in my way too early arsenal for the Open Championships. I think I'm bowling in July. And so far, I'm thinking these two are for sure going to be in the bag for the fresh. All right, back in the Gem. Move about another zone left, about. Create some shape, see how this looks. I'm loving the way this Gem gets into a roll. Very continuous ball. All right, let's just repeat here. Oh! I tell you guys, almost every time it happens, whenever the 6 hits the 10 like that, I love it. This Gem is just doing all the right things. If I strike here, I'll just keep going until I miss. That's no way it's gonna try. Oh! Oh! Wow, so many emotions. Yeah, the way that the Gem gets into a roll, it's earlier than the Proton. I mean, there's really no question about that, no debating that. And it's still very continuous. It doesn't shape. Don't confuse shape with continuation, because they're different things. But the Gem is just like checking all the boxes. It's like not amazing at anything, but does everything like really good. Like when you go to check all the boxes of what would be considered a gem, right? Like a pun, the Gem. It's like checking all the boxes. Okay, is it strong? Yes. Is it early? Yes. Is it smooth? Yes. Does it continue? Yes. All the boxes that you want checked out of an asymmetrical solid, it's just checking them. And I'm not trying to oversell anything. You guys know that I'm not about that. So let's get back on it and see what the Proton looks like. All right, last 5 shots of the video here are all gonna be in the Proton. Oh, the 9! Yeah, it's so freaking funny how much cleaner this Proton is than that Gem. But the fact remains that this Proton PhysiX is still very fun to throw. Two 9-pins. 9-pin strike, 9-pin. That seems fair. So off that 9-pin, I'm gonna move like 3 and 1, 3 and 2 left here, just to see. No 9-pin. All right, last shot of the video here. Again, in the Proton. Let's end here on a good note. All right, so we are done comparing the all-new Storm Gem to the Storm Proton PhysiX, which I've told you guys, this is one of the most fun balls that I've thrown in a long time. So to recap, the biggest differences that I'm seeing with these two balls, which again have the same surface prep and same layout, is that the Gem feels like it's earlier, rollier, just a more stronger ball when compared to the Proton PhysiX. And that's not saying that the Proton PhysiX is a weak ball by any stretch of the imagination. The Proton PhysiX is probably my second strongest ball now. And the Gem is just there. It's just so far, it's just the strongest ball that I have. So if you have a Proton PhysiX and you're looking to upgrade it or maybe get something a little bit stronger, I would highly suggest taking a look at this Gem. But if you have a Proton PhysiX and it's too strong for you, then maybe the Gem may not be the right ball, at least with the same layout, because my pinned down Gem is significantly cleaner, significantly more off the spot when compared to the Proton, even compared to the Reality, and probably even the Nova. So it is very user-friendly in that regard. So I hope you guys learned a lot in this video, because I learned a lot about my game in this video. And it's something that I'm gonna continue working on, always working, always working, because I wanna be the best bowler that I can be so that I can give you guys the best product on YouTube. So thank you guys so much for joining me in this comparison and in all my videos. I love the support. I appreciate you guys more than you know. Click right here to watch one of my other videos. Click right here to subscribe. Till next time.